Hey guys, this is Tyler with Biktrix, and today we're going to show you how to assemble your Juggernaut Lite e-bike. Before we get started, you're going to need some tools with you to assemble the e-bike. And whoa, there's our tools right there. We have some from our workshop here, but you'll also get some in your toolkit with the bike. We have some snips to cut your zip ties and open the bike box. We have a 4mm and a 5mm Allen key here. We have an 8mm and a 10mm wrench, which we'll need for some of the bolts and lock nuts. Then we have a 15mm wrench, which you'll need to install the pedals. We also have some bike grease here. Once you receive your bike, take a quick look around it, make sure the box is undamaged. If there's any damage to your box, take some pictures and submit it to Biktrix so we can get it fixed up right away. Now, our first step is to cut these straps and open up the box. Just need a pair of cutters to do this, and now we can open the box. Watch out for these staples when you're opening things up. Just take care of where they are and make sure you don't get hurt by them. Once your bike box is opened up, you'll see a smaller parts box, and there will be a charger box in there as well. Once you have the bike out of the box, this is how it's gonna look. You're gonna see a wheel zip tied to it, fender, and everything packaged up nice and ready to go. Your front fender should be on the wheel. We'll just put that to the side for now. It will get installed later. We will rotate our fork here. That will allow us to let our bike sit a little flatter. Now, there is this protective cover here on the one axle bolt. We'll just have to remove that. Again with a zip tie, and then just pull it off. And we can see our front wheel nuts are here. We'll need to loosen those off, but first let's get the fork ready so we can put the front wheel on. First thing we're gonna do is unpack the bike, get it ready to build. The next important thing before we start installing front wheel is to remove the plastic spacer within the brake pads. If you have that installed, it'll prevent rotor from inserting into the caliper. There's also a protective metal rod. There's just a couple nuts on each side. Loosen them up and it will slide right out from the dropouts. All right, so for installing the front wheel, first we're going to want to loosen up the nuts, the axle nuts. Have them at kind of the end of the spindle here to give you the most engagement to line everything up. And do that on both sides. If this nut's a little tougher to remove, just hold on to the other side of the spindle, hold it steady, and then you can slide off with no issue. And then we'll want those washers on the outside close to the nut. Now, lift up your front fork. Just slowly and gracefully line up your caliper, rotor, and the dropouts. These bolts and the axles firmly seated within the dropout, and your brake rotor within the brake calipers. Now, for now, we will just hand tighten these. We'll tighten a little bit better with a wrench later. We can put down the kickstand, and the bike will be stable for the rest of our assembly process. Next thing we'll put on is the handlebars. So first step of that, we're going to have to remove this plastic protective spacer. For that, we will need a 5mm Allen key. With the bolt removed, you'll be able to remove this spacer, and we can put the handlebars onto the bike. If they don't slide on very easily, you'll just have to loosen these two pinch bolts at the side by a couple of turns, then it should slide right in. And now I'm just checking to make sure that our headset is all tightly cinched. Sometimes you might just need to push up from this fork crown and that you don't have any gaps, any large gaps within this. Now, let's grab our cap and the bolt that we previously removed. Once you know you got things in nice and straight, you can grab our Allen key, tighten things in. Okay, and let's remove the packaging on our handlebars. And your keys for the battery lock should be somewhere attached to the handlebars as well. On here, it's on the bar directly, but it might also be somewhere on these cables as well. So now our last step with attaching the handlebars, we need to cinch these side bolts to make sure our handlebar is in line with the steer with this front wheel. One way to do that, check that from your riding position, your stem here is directly in line with the front wheel. It should be 2 straight lines, with that being your front wheel, that being your bike stem. Once they're straight, you can tighten that side bolt with a 4mm Allen key. Just do a quick little double check once you've done that, and we are all good. Now we will fully tighten up these front axle bolts. Okay, our next step, we will install the front fender and the headlight. And here we go. Your light, in this case, is already directly attached. There'll just be a couple of connectors at the back. If it isn't directly attached, you'll just have to slide the spade connectors into the back of the light. They'll slide right on there. Now we've got this bolt to remove. It's just on the fork arch. And let's grab our fender that we previously unpacked. And you've got your arms here that can adjust. We'll play with those a little bit later. For now, we'll slide the fender over the front wheel. We'll keep that tab towards the back here. Then we'll have our headlight on the front. So we'll run the bolt with a washer here, one of them. And at the back, our lock nut and our washer. All right, now let's attach these fender stay bolts to the fork. To loosen them, you'll need an 8mm wrench and a 4mm Allen key. There'll be 2 washers on the bolt as well. We'll keep one washer onto the bolt. We'll take that fender stay, keep it on the outer side of this bracket, the other washer on the back, and your lock nut. Thread that on. So we'll go to the other side and repeat that process. There we go. And now's a good time just to take a look at things. Make sure that you've got some space on the top of the fender and the back, such that nothing's going to be rubbing. You might just need to push the fender upwards a little bit to see that. So we're good. I've got clearance all along, so I'm going to start tightening things up. You need to hold the lock nut in place with your wrench. And then just use the Allen key and tighten these right up. Do the same on the other side. And now we'll take our 5mm Allen key and 10mm wrench, and we'll do the top with the headlight and the fork fender tab. Hold the lock nut steady and tighten this up. And there we go, everything's nice and tight and ready. Next thing we will do is install our pedals. And you'll have 2 pedals, so we can see this one has a R on it, so that corresponds to the right side of the bike. And this one will have a L on it, which corresponds to the left side of the bike. Now the right and left side corresponds to how you are positioned while riding. So this side is the right side, that side, left side. To install the pedal, you need a 15mm wrench. Just give a little light dabbing of grease onto it, and then go to your crank arm. Now both of your pedals, you need to move it towards the wheel, rotate. So one will be a clockwise to install, other will be counterclockwise. This is my right hand side, and I'm rotating this clockwise to install. Patience is the key word to this. Take a second, take a breath, and then you're back to building. Now, our pedals are installed, our front fender's installed, our handlebars are installed, and we have a fully assembled Juggernaut Lite ready to go out and ride. And one other feature of this Juggernaut Lite, we can remove this top bar if you'd like to turn it from a step over, like it is right now, to a step through. You just need to loosen these two bolts and remove this one here. And it pops right off. If you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments, or let us know what you'd like to see in the future if you had trouble or need some additional help.